winless run continuing into 2025. It's 4 games now without a win for Maresca's men, and this game finishing in a draw. These are the results before it: the loss at Ipswich Town, the loss to Fulham as well, and then the draw to Everton before that. So this is how things are looking right now. That form, that lull, continuing for Chelsea.
Yeah, and pretty much all of those games, at one stage they were in total charge, as they were in this game against Palace. I mean, at half-time, you're scratching your head thinking, how is it only 1-0? And of course, Palace were never going to be as bad, shooting towards their own fans. And there was never, at any stage for Chelsea in the second half, any control. Palace were just playing on emotion, not particularly great football, just trying to get people forward, trying to get balls in the box. And in the end, it was probably the correct result. So I'm watching the game and I'm thinking, you know what, you've got £200 million worth in Fernandes and Caicedo in the middle of the park, and they couldn't organise anybody around them to just solidify for a spell, because this second half was open, and as I said, Crystal Palace, because they were at home, they were wasteful, to be honest, in the final third, because they were getting through the middle of the park too easily, but couldn't really take advantage of it as much as they should have done.
The concern thing for me with this version of Chelsea, they've just gotten this habit of conceding late for some really strange reason. And Maresca, while we sing his praises all season long, I don't think he's addressed that issue well enough, and certainly didn't on the day-to-day. On 80 minutes, he takes off Jackson for Guew and doesn't really change, or certainly doesn't give Chelsea any more structure, any more defensive capabilities. Late on, you're only 1-0 up. Manage that part of the game. Yes, Madueke comes on, but it's already 1-1 at this point. And I think, you know, I question Maresca's decisions in this circumstance, kind of given what we've seen of Chelsea over the last couple of weeks.
Just more of the same, wasn't it?
Yeah.
More of the same.
Yeah, it's 1-0. You know, do something, strengthen up, throw in some defensive reinforcement, something. Right. Just don't. You're keeping Palace in the game. And to your point, at home, fans at their backs. I just expected more out of a manager who's been.
It did exactly the same thing at Fulham last week or the week before, when they were playing well and they were open and they lost control, and they never got it back, and he never did anything to change it. I remember sitting here thinking, why are you not off your seat doing something? He didn't do anything to change it. And as Shaka just said, he did the same again today.
Maybe it's just a coincidence, but this lull and lack of results from Chelsea follows what had been a very good run for them, so much so that got them in the conversation in which people were asking the question, are they in the title race? And it's one thing that we can sit here and have the conversation, are they not? Is it realistic? Is it not? That's for us to discuss. Maresca comes out and said, no, we're not. No, we're not in it. Us? No, we're not. And it wasn't like it was Captain Deflecto, let's take the pressure away from these players. It's almost as if he truly, wholeheartedly believed that they're not in it. But it's not his place to say that. You know, I always have an issue with managers who, in their effort to manage expectations for the group, they limit their ceiling. They bring the ceiling down. If your team is winning, you can answer those questions by saying, you know what? We just got to continue to win games. And that's all we're trying to do. And if we happen to be there in the end, we're going to give our best effort and the very best of ourselves to try to make that happen. But right now, we focus on trying to win games. And that's it. You're not limiting expectations. You're not bringing the ceiling down for the team. You're saying it's our goal to win every game we play.
If you're a fan, you don't want to hear that, do you?
What's that?
You don't want to hear the manager say, no, we're not.
No, good, exactly.
And so to LA's point, and it may just be a coincidence that this has followed after him being asked this and him saying, no, we're not going to win the league, we're not title contenders. Is this a lack of belief that's coming down into the team then now, when moments like this are happening, that they don't have the belief they can turn it around?
It's maybe just a little bit of lack of experience from the manager. Why would you take the legs away from the fans or the players or anybody else? I mean, you don't have to answer keep saying it, you don't have to answer the question. All you got to say is, well, you know what? We're in a position where we've got a chance, so let's run with it. I mean, what's wrong with saying that? You don't have to turn around and go, oh, no, and get the dampener out quick, get the wet cloth and get everything all down, and no, we're not good enough. Because players, I don't care what anybody says, if you start talking like that and players believe what you're saying, that finds its way into their brain somewhere along the line.
Okay.
Well, it's a team that had no doubts when they were going on that hot run and playing without that sort of doubt. You see some of that creeping in, and it's hard not to draw the parallels between your manager telling you, nah, that's not us, and then all of a sudden, apparently, no, you're not.